Hello, this is my review of the Komodo Simulations UH1 Cyclic and Collective Combination. I just got this in 2 days ago and I set it up on my Volair Sim chair. As you can see, this is the setup that I have. I got the Cyclic and the Collective mounted to my chair now. I've jerry-rigged something together with some wood and whatnot, as you can see. And it seems to be working out pretty good for me. First impressions with the Cyclic, pretty good. Plastic construction with metal cyclic tubing, and then down to the base. As you can see there's a little bit of a sunglass band that I'm using to hold the position of the Cyclic that allows me to fly hands off with it. I don't know if there's any way to improve the tightness. There are no friction controls on the Cyclic itself on the base, but I found this little modification here to allow it to hold without it creeping back, which was the tendency without the band. On the collective stick, you have all the controls that you need to work your searchlights, landing lights, extension of the searchlight, retraction, left-right movement, governor RPM. Throttle release, it's just a push button, and your throttle control with friction. As you can see here on the base, there's a friction control that you can rotate clockwise and counterclockwise to increase the collective friction so it doesn't fall. Right now, just add a little bit of friction there. And you can see it holds its place pretty well. Alright, so overall impressions, I think the stick is a pretty well built. A lot of looks like 3D printed materials that the collective head is put together with. And I think Rich did a pretty good job with it. I'm going to take some in-flight video next.
Okay guys, we're in the UH1 and DCS World Open Beta 1.5. Right now we're located at Tbilisi at night, so I can demonstrate some of the uses of the landing light and searchlight features from the Komodo Simulation Collective. Right now I'm going through the startup procedure, and you'll see it's an abbreviated procedure that I came up with, so it's not exactly per the startup procedure, so don't be too bad, just for the sake of this review. As you can see, I'm preparing to start the engine right now. One of the great things that I like about the Komodo simulations is the ignition switch is in the actual true location as a trigger underneath the collective head. One of the limitations that I've noticed, and I believe it's a DCS World limitation, is on the Komodo simulation, the throttle stop release button is just a push button to simulate depressing that button in the simulation. So you do depress the button, but rolling on the throttle past the idle detent or throttle stop position, you still have to roll your mouse over the throttle to get the initial fuel sequence to start. After that, after the engine is self-sustaining, then you can roll on the throttle to 100% RPM. Okay, now I'm preparing to pick up the aircraft, making my small inputs to the Cyclic collective and pedals. The Komodo Cyclic and collective feel pretty good. They have a natural feel to them. The Cyclic is nice and loose, obviously with the modification that I told you I had to make with the elastic band there to allow the Cyclic to stay in the position that you leave it. This is kind of, as I modded it like that, it has the feel of a forced trim, even though it's not modeled in the Cyclic. The collective is very smooth. You can adjust the feel of the collective with the friction control to allow it to stay in the position when you take your hands off of it. As you can see now, I'm using the searchlight with the searchlight switch on the collective to allow me to move the searchlight left, right, forward, and aft. I'm demonstrating here with my right hand that the Cyclic can be left in the position where it is. Without that elastic band, as I mentioned earlier, it would creep back into my lap. So, as I can demonstrate here with my right hand on the Cyclic, I can make very small inputs just with my forefinger and thumb on the Cyclic. And this is how most helicopter pilots would fly in an actual environment. I have real-world experience flying in the Army with UH-60 Blackhawks, and the feel is very similar. Right now I'm flying over to the vicinity of the tower. There's a little medevac pad there that I want to help demonstrate some of the usefulness of having Cyclic collective and pedals to make a precision steep approach. Hands down, the DCS World aerodynamic flight modeling is very, very well done. I've flown a lot of simulators over the years, and I have real-world experience with helicopter flight, and I would have to say DCS has captured the dynamics the best of all the simulations that I've flown. Having the Komodo Cyclic and collective allows me to make very small, minute, precise inputs to make a very precise steep approach into the medevac pad here. Also, having the searchlight controls allows me to keep the landing zone in sight while I make my approach. As you know, with the aerodynamics as they're modeled, a steep approach gives you a very dangerous scenario where you can get into settling with power or vortex ring state, basically where the aircraft settles into its own rotor wash. So having the small controlled inputs allows you to make a very smooth approach to the landing pad. Some of the effects that I've noticed, and it's probably a bug in DCS World 1.5, obviously as you can see the searchlight doesn't really reflect off the buildings very well. It kind of gives you a void there. As you can see on the ground, the searchlight is very well illuminated, but on buildings it doesn't have a reflection quite yet. And obviously that's just the fact that it's a beta and they're working continuously to upgrade and make the program more stable and playable. As you can see, I'm making my minute inputs with the Cyclic and using the collective searchlight features to allow me to keep my landing zone in sight. Overall, my impressions of the Komodo simulation are very good. I do recommend this to any enthusiast flight simulator that wants to have a very well modeled flight control system. Thank you for your time in watching this video. I hope it's informative in your decision to purchase a Komodo simulation UH-1 Cyclic and collective package. I'd like to extend a very warm thank you to Rich, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video.